Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got something special lined up for you today, a deep dive curated just for our amazing listeners.
Always exciting to be back.
You know it. Today, we're stepping into the world of dancehall specifically, the enigmatic Vybz Kartel. We've got these excerpts here, focusing on his current status, an upcoming concert, Freedomstreet, and let me tell you, it's a fascinating mix.
Oh, yeah, a lot to unpack there.
Seriously. Second chances, artistic evolution, contrasting opinions on his impact. It's all there. So our mission, if you choose to accept it, is to figure out what these excerpts tell us about where Kartel's at now, both as an artist and a person. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it.
All right, first things first. Even behind bars, this guy's presence is undeniable. Like one of the excerpts even says, you can't delete him from your psyche. What's your take on that?
Well, it's true. It's like, even though he's been incarcerated for over a decade, Kartel's influence on dancehall is still massive.
Huge, yeah.
That phrase, can't delete him from your psyche, it really captures how deeply embedded he is in the culture.
Totally. It's like you can't talk about dancehall without mentioning Vybz Kartel. But what is it about him that makes him so inescapable? Is it just the music?
Well, the music's a big part of it, obviously. He was and still is a lyrical genius, constantly pushing boundaries,
Right.
But it's more than just talent. Kartel challenged conventions. He wasn't afraid of controversy.
Definitely not afraid of controversy.
His music, it reflects the realities of Jamaican life, but he also played with image and persona in a way that captivated people.
Yeah,
Whether you loved him or hated him, he made you pay attention.
absolutely. And that brings us to some interesting snippets about a potential shift in his perspective, wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely.
I mean, he's acknowledging support from someone like Bounty Keller, which is a big deal in the dancehall world. They've had their share of differences over the years, to put it lightly.
To say the least, yeah.
And then there's his stance against violence for opinions. It really makes you wonder, is this a genuine evolution or a carefully calculated image makeover? What do you think?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Dancehall has this history of rivalries, almost like feuds you see in hip-hop,
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So for Kartel to acknowledge Bounty Killer's support, it speaks volumes. And his comments on violence, well, they do contrast with some of his earlier lyrics and the persona he cultivated back then.
That's true.
But 13 years is a long time. People change, perspectives shift. It's possible he's undergone a real transformation.
I mean, imagine the introspection that must happen when you're facing that much time.
Exactly. You're forced to confront yourself, your past choices.
You got a point there.
Yeah.
Especially with the Freedomstreet concert on the horizon.
Yeah.
That adds another layer to this whole thing, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Freedomstreet has this double meaning, right? His literal release from prison and this massive comeback event that everyone's buzzing about.
Oh, yeah, the anticipation is crazy high.
There's so much writing on it. One author even compared it to Buju Banton's post-prison concert, which, by the way, was incredible. Legendary, even.
Oh, I remember that. It set the bar pretty high for any artist coming back after a long time away. So that begs the question, can Kartel live up to the hype? Can he recapture that energy after all these years? There's one author who even doubts his performance skills now, thinks he might not have it anymore. What do you think about that?
That's a valid concern. I mean, the music industry, especially in a genre as dynamic as dancehall, it's all about momentum and stage presence,
Totally. You got to have that connection with the crowd.
Right. And after being away for so long, it's natural to wonder if he can still command a stage like he used to. Only time will tell, I guess. We'll have to wait and see.
True. But regardless of the concert's success, you can't deny Kartel's business acumen. The guy's built an empire from behind bars.
It's pretty amazing, yeah.
Releasing music, managing brands, constantly staying relevant. It's like he's turned his situation into an opportunity.
He's incredibly savvy, that's for sure. He understands the power of his brand and how to leverage it. He's not just sitting around. He's using this time strategically.
Smart move.
But whether that translates to long-term success once he's out in the world again, that's a whole other question. The music landscape has changed. New artists have emerged. He's got a fight ahead of him, but, he's never been one to shy away from a challenge.
No doubt about that.
Yeah.
So let's recap here. Vybz Kartel, even after all this time, is deeply, deeply embedded in dancehall culture.
Undeniably.
He's showing signs of a changed perspective, talking about unity and speaking out against violence, which is definitely interesting.
Very interesting.
But is it genuine? Only time will tell. And then there's Freedomstreet, this massive concert that represents a huge turning point for him, both personally and professionally. But there are doubts about his ability to deliver. to live up to the expectations.
The pressure is definitely on.
It is. And yet, through it all, he's proven himself to be a master strategist, a businessman who knows how to play the game. It's a really compelling story, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And it leaves us with a big question. Will Vybz Kartel use this second chance to make a positive impact? I mean, both musically and personally. Or will he fall back into old patterns? It's something we'll all be watching very closely.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's going to be fascinating to see what the next chapter holds for him. And for us, trying to understand it all, we'll definitely be keeping an eye on it and bringing you more deep dives into stories just like this. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.
See you then.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.